After getting engaged, my boyfriend's family initiated a refund only application and sued me to the police station with a lawsuit, claiming that I had received an exorbitant bride price. It's already 2025. Who still asks for a bride price when getting married? Mr. Policeman, this is illegal. Besides, we're in a free love relationship. 66,000 yuan is like taking our family's life. In the face of my boyfriend's family's unreasonable fuss, I remained silent and readily agreed to return the money. My boyfriend's mother became even more insolent. Since you're so sensible, when you get married, you should serve me well. Have 2 baby boys and then life will be better, won't it? I burst out laughing. Get married? Who would want to marry into their family? That night, I held a grand ceremony to return the bride price. The next day, my boyfriend's family became completely famous online. When the police called, I was about to sign a car purchase contract. Before getting engaged, I had discussed with my boyfriend that his family would give a bride price of 66,000 yuan as a token, and in return, I would provide a dowry of a 200,000 yuan car. Everything was going smoothly originally, but on the phone, the police said that I had been reported and asked me to go there to prove that I was not involved in extortion and illegal acquisition of other people's money. I was confused for a while and couldn't react. Mr. Policeman, are you sure you're not mistaken? Are you talking about me? I've always abided by the law and am a model citizen. What extortion and acquisition of other people's money? Is there some misunderstanding? But on the other end of the phone, my full name and ID number were clearly stated, and the amount involved was exactly 66,000 yuan. Hearing this, my hand that was about to sign paused, and I looked at my boyfriend suspiciously. Suwon, what's going on? Isn't 66,000 yuan our bride price? Is there a problem with your parents? Suwon was obviously a bit nervous and didn't answer my question directly. It's nothing. It's probably a scam. I'll talk to them. You just sign quickly. Didn't we agree that we must pick up the car today? With that, he snatched my phone and left. Seeing his strange behavior, I became more cautious and secretly followed him. As soon as I got close, I heard Suwon complaining impatiently. Mom, didn't we agree that we wouldn't rush the matter of the bride price? We haven't even received the dowry yet. If she gets suspicious later, we'll suffer a big loss. Don't worry. I can handle this. Suwon walked further and further away, and I couldn't hear clearly anymore. But obviously this matter was definitely not that simple. So before Suwon came back, I made a bold move and signed the contract. And I paid the full amount according to the process and bought the insurance. Everything was exactly the same as planned before. But the only difference was that I crossed out Suwon's name on the car purchase contract. After all, I was the one paying for the car. If he didn't scheme against me, everything would be fine. If he wanted to play tricks, I wasn't the type to swallow my anger. About half an hour later, Suwon finally arrived. After learning that I had taken care of everything, he breathed a sigh of relief and excitedly wanted to open the contract to check. Baby, you're so wonderful. I've long wanted to have my own car. I showed a bright smile and quietly held down his hand. There's no time. The car pickup ceremony is about to start. You can look at the contract anytime. Suwon didn't think much and happily went to inspect the car. I took the opportunity to hide the contract and then asked casually, by the way, what was that all about just now? Was it a scam? I was so worried when you were gone for so long. The smile on Suwon's face froze, and he touched his nose unnaturally. Oh, it's not a big deal. It seems they just want you to go to the police station. Now I was even more confused. If it's not a big deal, why would I be going to the police station? What on earth are his family up to behind my back? So I couldn't wait to go through those cumbersome procedures. As soon as I got the car, I drove straight to the police station. As soon as I arrived at the police station, I heard Suwon's mother shouting at the top of her voice. It's already 2024. Who still asks for a bride price when getting married? Mr. Policeman, this is illegal. Besides, we're in a free love relationship. 66,000 yuan is like taking our family's life. You must stand up for us. This is all my hard-earned money. After that, she grabbed the policeman's clothes and started rolling on the ground. The policeman looked extremely frustrated. He could only keep persuading her to get up first and not disrupt the order of the police station. When they saw me coming, everyone seemed to see a savior. Ms. Zhaoqing, this is the situation. Our police station received a report saying that you are suspected of illegally receiving an exorbitant bride price, with an amount of 66,000 yuan. Please confirm this. If the situation is true, you may need to cooperate in returning this money. Suwon's mother nodded excitedly, spitting as she spoke. It's true. It's true. The money is in her bank card. I stood there dumbfounded, unable to react. Such profound Chinese words. I could understand every single word, but when put together I just didn't recognize them. My future in-laws sued me the day after the engagement, on the grounds that I had extorted their bride price. Wow, I really encounter such a strange thing. I turned to Suwon to confirm, forcing a smile. Didn't we settle the matter of the bride price a few days ago? When we discussed it, all your family members were there, and no one objected. Uncle and aunt, do you have some misunderstanding about me? Su-wen's eyes were evasive, and he patted my shoulder indifferently. Well, at that time we were just afraid you wouldn't agree. We were just trying to please you. We're not in a blind date situation. Why do we need a bride price? Our family's money doesn't come easily. I'll treat you well after we get married, won't I? As he talked more and more vigorously, without the slightest hint of embarrassment, looking at Su-wen's face, I suddenly felt a bit dazed, as if I was meeting him for the first time. Just a week ago, he had raised his hand and sworn in front of my parents that he would always put me at the center of his life, and would never let his family bully me at any time. During the 3-year relationship, he wasn't the most outstanding among my suitors, but he was always the most attentive and knew best how to make me happy. When I sprained my ankle, he would carry me on his back for 3 kilometers on foot to a small clinic. He would get up at 6 o'clock every morning to make me a loving breakfast, pick me up and drop me off at work every day, regardless of wind or rain, never absent even when extremely busy or tired. He would buy me anything I wanted to eat. Even at 3 o'clock in the morning, he could immediately get out of bed. I had always thought that as long as someone was good to me, that was true love. But only now did I realize that I was wrong. When it comes to getting married and having a future, one must not only consider that someone is good to you, because a man's kindness is the most changeable and the cheapest. To be honest, we had always split all expenses AA, and he had never given me any expensive gifts. Instead, seeing him work so hard, I had given him and his family quite a few famous brand shoes and watches. I always thought that there was a big gap between our families. He came from a poor family, so I couldn't ask too much of him. That's why for the bride price, I only asked for a lucky number as a token. But in the eyes of his parents, that 60,000 yuan was like taking their lives. Looking at Su-wen's aggressive parents and Su-wan, who remained passive beside them, I couldn't help but sneer. So you also support your parents in calling the police? And you deliberately waited until I bought the car before bringing me here. What, are you afraid I'll go back on my word and not buy it? Su-wan, having been hit where it hurt, immediately flew into a rage out of impotence. What does this have to do with the car? Stop talking nonsense, okay? Zhaoqing, are you so snobbish? Does your family lack that little money? Would you not get married without that 60,000 yuan? I finally understood that now that he had the car and the engagement was over, he thought he had me in his grasp. But he didn't know that I hated being schemed against the most. There would be a price to pay for trying to profit from me. Why are you in such a hurry? Am I that kind of person? Isn't it just returning the bride price? I'll return it to you. With that, I readily signed the mediation agreement at the police station, voluntarily refunding the full 66,000 yuan bride price. Seeing things go so smoothly, Su-wen's mother couldn't believe it herself and stared at me suspiciously for a long time. I'm warning you, don't play any tricks. If you said you'll return it, you have to return it. And that car was your voluntary dowry. Our family won't pay a single cent, don't even think about taking it back. There's no reason to take back something that has been given away. My hand, which was signing, paused, and I gave her a meaningful look. Then is there a reason to take back the given away bride price? Realizing she was in the wrong, Su-wen's mother shut her mouth. After signing the mediation statement, Su-wen walked over with a smile, trying to hold my hand, but I coldly dodged him. He awkwardly rubbed his hands and tried to hold me again. Baby, don't worry. I'll always remember your kindness. When we get married, we'll ask your father to pay the down payment. With your salary, we won't have to worry about a good life. You won't lose by marrying me. I remained silent all the time, just coldly picked up my bag. Su-wen's mother snorted at me. She's not even married yet and already showing her husband a cold face. No manners. With that, she dragged Su-wen to see the new car I bought. After seeing the car parked outside the police station, she rushed up excitedly, touching and patting it, and even held up her phone to record a video triumphantly. My son's new car. Dear family members, come and see how cool this car is. My son is really capable, haha. My mouth twitched again and again. I really wanted to immediately take out the vehicle license to slap her in the face, but I held back. It wasn't the right time yet. If you want someone to fall the hardest, you have to lift them up the highest. After recording the video, Su-wen's mother quickly posted it on Douyin and the family group. She was smiling so widely that the wrinkles on her face were all showing, and her mood improved. Even her tone when talking to me became more amiable. She didn't forget to admonish me. Zhaoqing, since you're so sensible, when you get married, you should serve me well. Have 2 baby boys and then life will be better, won't it? Young people don't always think about enjoying. Taking good care of your man is a woman's duty. Okay, quickly transfer that 60,000 yuan back. Mom will keep it for you first. I took a step back, keeping a disgusted distance from her. Auntie, don't worry. I will definitely return the money, but not now. The engagement requires an engagement ceremony. Now that we're returning the bride price, we must also invite both sides' relatives to witness it. Otherwise, others will think I took advantage. That wouldn't be good. When Su-wen's mother heard me say this, her face instantly darkened. She pointed her finger at my nose and started spraying saliva again. What do you mean? Do you mean that when you return the bride price you still want to hold a banquet? You're really not ashamed. You're dreaming. I shrugged my shoulders and sneered. You're not ashamed of asking for the return of the bride price, but you're ashamed of holding a ceremony? Auntie, your family's values are really double standard. Anyway, if those relatives aren't present, I won't take out the bride price. With that, I directly crossed my arms, showing a non-negotiable attitude. Seeing this, Suwon tugged at his mother's clothes, and the two of them whispered secretly, "Mom, just let her do it. It's good for our family." At that time, when those relatives see that I'm getting a wife who doesn't even want the bride price and also gets a car for free, won't they praise me for being capable? Only then did Suwon's mother nod in satisfaction and reluctantly agreed to me. Seeing that my goal was achieved that night, I held a grand ceremony to return the bride price. I even specially hired a band to publicize this matter all over the street, beating gongs and drums. Good news, good news. Congratulations to the Suwon family for suing their fiancé to the police station after the engagement and getting back the exorbitant bride price of 66,000 yuan. How wonderful, how wonderful. Many passers-by hearing this couldn't help but point at them and talk. 66,000 yuan is called exorbitant? And they even made a scene at the police station. What kind of people are this family? My goodness, this man is so scary. After getting engaged, he goes to get the bride price back. Does he want to get something for nothing? And that mother-in-law with a mean face. Tisk. One shouldn't marry into such a family. When Suwon and his mother heard this, they couldn't even lift their heads and urged me to go home quickly. I curled my lips into a smile. Can't take it anymore? The best is yet to come. During dinner in the evening in front of everyone, I ceremoniously transferred the 66,000 yuan bride price back into Suwon's bank card. Just as the mother-son pair were beaming with joy and about to show off to the relatives, the display screen behind them suddenly lit up. The aggressive faces of Suwon and his mother in the afternoon were presented in high definition, directly turned into a hilarious looped video by me. It's 2024. Asking for a bride price is illegal. That car was your voluntary dowry. Our family won't pay a single cent. There's no reason to take back something that has been given away. Their mean and greedy double-standard appearance made even their own relatives feel ashamed, and many passers-by, not afraid of trouble, raised their phones to take pictures and posted this matter on various social media platforms. The next day, the Suwon family became completely famous online. There were overwhelming reports of their heroic deeds of suing their future daughter-in-law to the police station. Suwon's mother was so angry that she almost fainted and started cursing at me. A jinx. Before even getting married, she has already ruined our family like this. If she gets married, won't she turn the world upside down? I innocently waved my hand and put on a surprised expression. Get married? Who said I'm going to marry into your family? Now, not only Suwon's mother but also Suwon was stunned. Zhao Qing, what do you mean? We're already engaged. We'll be a family in the future. Isn't it shameful to make a scene on the internet? We just asked you to return the bride price. Why are you throwing a tantrum? You must apologize to my mother today. I rolled my eyes. When one is extremely speechless, one really wants to laugh. He still thought that I was just throwing a tantrum. What do I mean? Just as the words imply. If your brain is rusty, smear some oil to lubricate it. The bride price has been returned. Do you still want to get married? Listen carefully. I'll only say this once. I want to call off the engagement. With that, I took out the keys and was about to drive my car away. Suwon pointed at me in disbelief, so angry that he stuttered. You stop. Don't leave. The engagement has been made, and the invitations have been sent out. Now calling off the engagement, what about my face? If you dare to break off the engagement, believe it or not, I'll go to the police station and report you. I clenched my fists, losing even my last bit of good temper. I originally thought that making this strange family a laughingstock on social media was enough revenge for them, but they really had the nerve, being both thick-skinned and shameless. Oh, you weren't ashamed when asking for the return of the bride price, but now you're ashamed when it comes to calling off the engagement? Alright then. Please you two call the police. I'll call 110 myself. With that, I directly dialed 110. I have to say the police arrived very quickly. Their efficiency was really good. But as soon as they heard it was about the Suwon family's messy business again, they were completely exhausted. Mr. Su, what's wrong with you this time? Didn't she already return the bride price to you last time? Why are you reporting again? Suwon's mother pounced and hugged the policeman's leg. Mr. Policeman, you must stand up for us. Our family just asked for the return of the bride price. But she actually wants to call off the engagement too. You tell me, isn't this intentional marriage fraud? It's illegal. The policeman looked at me, then at Suwon and his mother, and asked in confusion. So what you mean is that you don't want to give the bride price but also want to get the person, right? Suwon quickly nodded, excited. Yes, Mr. Policeman. The bride price shouldn't be received in the first place. But getting married was something we had agreed on long ago. Make her go home with me obediently. The policeman sighed, completely speechless. I'm sorry, Ms. Zhao has already returned the money to you. As for whether to get married or not, it's her personal freedom. Even the police have no right to interfere. But if you continue to harass her, that will constitute an illegal act. Hearing the word illegal, Suwon and his mother finally let go, but they could only stare at me with reluctance. After the police left, Suwon completely turned against me. He jumped onto my car and firmly grasped the front hood, not letting go. Want to call off the engagement? Fine. Anyway, there are plenty of women chasing me. But you're not taking this car away. Since it's a dowry for me and my name is on it, it's mine. As he spoke, he bared his teeth trying to threaten me, looking like a monkey guarding its food. Suwon's mother was also stubborn. She rushed up and pushed me away. My son is right. Since you're not our family's daughter-in-law now, this car is my son's personal property. You can't take it away. Looking at the thick-skinned mother-son pair, I couldn't help but take a deep breath and immediately took out the contract in the car, slapping them in the face. Take a good look. This is my car. I bought it and paid for it. There's only my name on it. It has nothing to do with your son at all. As I spoke, for fear that they were blind, I kindly held it in front of them. After seeing the name, the faces of Su-won and his mother instantly turned uglier than if they had eaten shit. Especially Su-won, who then accused me with a hurt look. Zhao-qing, you lied to me. You actually lied to me. Didn't we agree to write my name when buying the car? You scheming woman. I didn't back down and retorted directly. When discussing the bride price, you also said it was for me. You stingy man. But even with the facts in front of them, the mother-son pair still didn't reason and actually directly lay in front of the car wheels, being obstinate, saying that they wouldn't let me go unless they got half of it. At this point, I was completely fed up and directly opened my phone, sent the location to the reporter group, with the caption "New Gossip." Ever since the incident of me returning the bride price went viral online, many media outlets have contacted me, hoping to conduct exclusive interviews with me. However, I didn't want to be too much in the limelight, so I declined all of them. Since now both Su-won and his mother have no sense of shame, I don't mind making them even more humiliated. I must say, reporters indeed possess professional qualities. Just 10 minutes after I sent out the message, a group of gossip reporters rushed up, shoving microphones right in the faces of Su-won and his mother. Hello. Are you Mr. Su-won and Ms. Lee Chun-mei? It said that you reported the woman after the engagement and successfully got back the 66,000 yuan bride price. Now you've reported her again. What's your attitude? Do you want both the money and the woman? By the way, I'd also like to interview you. Is this a publicity stunt or is it really the case? So incredible. Does 66,000 yuan really seem like a large amount of money to your family? It said that Ms. Zhao bought this car in full. Aren't you going to return it? Facing the reporter's numerous questions all at once, Su-won felt ashamed and kept his head down throughout, not saying a word. Su-won's mother even threw a tantrum on the spot, shoving all the reporters outwards. What are you filming? What are you filming? Get out of here. What do you know? The bride price is originally a bad custom. Women who ask for the bride price should be sent to prison. Our family is upholding justice and ridding the people of evil. The country should reward us. If you film any more, I'll report all of you. You're infringing on my right to a portrait. Several reporters were pushed so hard by her that they fell to the ground, but they weren't angry at all. Instead, they continued to ask her questions, trying to further provoke Su-won's mother. The neighbors who were watching couldn't help but shake their heads and quickly walked away. They felt ashamed to be neighbors with this mother-son pair. Sensing that something was wrong and knowing that the situation couldn't be allowed to escalate further, Su-won blocked the camera with his hand and dragged his mother away. Forget it. We don't want this car anymore. Stop filming. Stop filming. Before leaving, he gave me a fierce glare. I shrugged. Since we had already fallen out, I wasn't afraid of him. Worst case scenario, I deal with whatever came my way. As expected, Su-won's mother's wonderful performance made it to the hot search again. If most netizens were just watching the fun before, this time they were truly furious. After all, Su-won's mother's words had offended all the girls across the country who asked for a bride price. Send us to prison? Are they kidding? Is 66,000 yuan really like taking their lives? Tisk. The mother and son are just as bad as each other. Who would dare to marry into such a family in the future? One would want to stay far away when seeing them. Although I'm a man, this is really not decent. No wonder he's single. That's right. She only asked for 66,000 yuan and even provided a dowry of a car. What more could one ask for? In just a few hours, Su-won and his mother were bombarded with thousands of negative comments. This time they didn't gain anything and instead lost what they already had. I guess no girl would dare to marry into their family anymore. Seeing that their reputation was getting worse and worse, Su-won panicked. He tried to send me a text message, threatening that I had to help him post a clarification. Otherwise he wouldn't let me off. I curled my lips and directly blocked him, leaving him in a panic. I originally thought that he wouldn't be able to cause much trouble, but unexpectedly, the next day he posted a clarification himself, with a really sensational headline. Shocking! Zhao-qing is actually a gold digger, who didn't spend a single cent during the 3-year relationship. I couldn't figure out what wealth his family had that was worth my worship. So, out of curiosity I clicked in. Goodness me. He actually posted the bills of our relationship over the years item by item with great detail. It ranged from a 1 yuan bottle of mineral water to a 200 yuan shirt he bought for himself. For these 3 years of the relationship, everything from meals, bus and subway rides, to daily necessities was recorded. Of course he himself consumed most of these things. The total amount was 25,438 yuan, which averaged out to only 20 yuan per day. If this was considered being a gold digger, I really had nothing to say. But Su-won himself didn't think it was absurd. He even played the victim in the post, trying to arouse everyone's pity. Hello everyone. I'm Su-won. Today, I want to share some heartfelt words with you. You all say that I'm stingy and calculating, but actually you've all been deceived. During the 3-year relationship, she never spent a single cent. It was always me bearing our joint expenses. I wonder how many men are like me, willing to spend tens of thousands of yuan on their girlfriends before getting married. I was truly infatuated with her and had future plans in mind. But she was so picky about the bride price that she even deliberately smeared our family and put us in the spotlight. Everyone, don't be deceived by Zhao-qing. She's a scheming gold digger. The bills are right here. I Su-won have a clear conscience. True gold fears no fire. He originally thought that after saying such high-sounding words, he could reverse his reputation and make all the netizens go to sympathize with him and scold this gold digger along with him. But unexpectedly, after seeing the bills, Netizens felt even more sympathetic towards me. What a poor gold digger, drinking 1 yuan mineral water and taking 2 yuan bus rides. So gold digging, that's right. After 3 years of the relationship, he didn't even want to call a taxi for the girl. So stingy. I sincerely ask, can two people really not starve to death spending only 20 yuan a day? So amazing. The most expensive thing was a t-shirt he bought for himself, and he even counted it against the girl. For all other inquiries he didn't reply, but he solemnly replied to this one. She said it looked good, so I bought it to wear for her. Why isn't it considered spending money for her? At this point everyone was speechless and just felt disgusted for even coming across this post. Of course there were also a small number of men who spoke up for Suwon. Although this guy is a bit stingy, it takes two to tango. Since the girl chose to call off the engagement, shouldn't she return the money he spent? I was so angry that I laughed. It takes two to tango? I'll slap him in the face and see if it makes a sound. Soon this comment asking me to return the money was liked by Suwon and even pinned to the top. A group of disgusting men were betting below, wondering if I would actually return the money. I secretly calculated in my heart that I would definitely return the money, but before that I could calculate some accounts with him clearly. Suwon must never have imagined that I also had the habit of keeping accounts, just like him. On the same day I also posted a response. Shocking. Suwon is actually a man who lives off women. During the 3-year relationship, he was completely relying on me. And I wrote a long passage, carefully calculating the accounts for Suwon. Hello everyone. I'm Zhao Qing. I originally thought we could part on good terms, and I was going to let that money go as if I had fed it to a dog. But some people just had to calculate accounts with me. Since that's the case, let's be fair. The following are all my expenses during these 3 years of the relationship. P.S. This doesn't include joint expenses. I won't owe that Mr. Su a penny for his small expenses. Since we're talking about returning money, I also hope that netizens can be the witnesses. Let him return my money first. After writing this, I posted all the transfer records and bills of these 3 years. I transferred 5,200 yuan for Suwon's birthday, spent 15,000 yuan on a bag for Suwon's mother's birthday, gave 2,000 yuan as a gift for Suwon's relative's banquet, and bought various clothes, shoes, and watches for Suwon, with the lowest price being in the hundreds. And there were also various gifts that his shameless relatives and friends asked me for. All these expenses added up to nearly 100,000 yuan, and each expense had a corresponding payment record. Suwon's stingy small expenses were simply negligible compared to mine. As soon as the post was sent out, netizens rushed to eat the melon, follow the gossip. The woman is much more generous than that man. It turns out that the soft rice eating man still owes 70,000 yuan. That's right. The beauty was really taken advantage of by that stingy man. She spent so much money but was still called a gold digger. Tisk. The soft rice eating man sure has a lot of drama. Come out and return the money. What 70,000 yuan or 66,000 yuan? He couldn't even afford the bride price. Wouldn't 70,000 yuan be like taking his life? Haha. Suwon was now thoroughly mocked by the crowd and became the soft rice eating man in everyone's eyes. Countless netizens rushed to his comment section, urging him to return the money. Some even dug out his phone number. Calls to him directly led to his phone being switched off due to the negative impact. Suwon's company simply fired him. Originally, he posted the post to save face and ask for money, but now he had nothing left. Seeing the situation escalating, Suwon finally stopped feigning ignorance and bombarded me with several text messages in the middle of the night. Zhao Qing, what do you mean? You said those things were gifts for me. How could you still? I already let go of what happened before. I didn't hold it against you, but you still want to harm me. Now I've lost my job in my face. Are you satisfied? The post I made didn't mean to ask you to return the money at all. Do I seem like such a petty person? Let's just let this go. You don't need to return the money. From now on we'll stay out of each other's way. Looking at the messages he sent, I didn't even bother to reply. I directly took screenshots and updated them on the post, with the caption, let it go? Who wants to let it go with you? You must return the money. If someone doesn't return the money soon, I'll call the police. Suwon was facing both online abuse and the threat of imprisonment. Now, even with his thick skin, he couldn't continue to renege. His family scraped together the 66,000 yuan bride price and an additional 4,000 yuan, and finally transferred the money to my account. Seeing the frustrated and pained look on Suwon's mother's face, I felt extremely satisfied. I originally thought this messy affair could finally come to an end. As long as his family stopped causing trouble, netizens would just find it amusing and no one would continue to care about them. But unexpectedly, Suwon was like a cockroach that couldn't be killed and actually made a scene at my workplace. He came up and said loudly, Qing, you see, we previously agreed that the bride price was 66,000 yuan, right? Now the money has been given back to you. I promise you I will never ask for it back. Can we continue to get married? I forced a smile at him and then harshly crushed his foot with my high-heeled shoes. That was what you owed me before. It has nothing to do with the bride price. What makes you think I can still like a stingy and calculating man like you? Oh, by the way, not only me, but no one else will like you either. After saying that, I wiped my shoe in disgust. When Suwon's parents saw this, they directly started rolling on the ground and creating a commotion at my workplace. Oh, my son is so miserable. He was deceived by this woman. Now he has lost both his love and his money. You big bosses and leaders quickly fire her. This woman, Zhao Qing, has a bad reputation and no shame. She must be fooling around outside. Now my son has lost his job and can't get married. Heaven, our family can't go on living. Let us the parents die here. With that, the couple rushed towards my desk. My colleagues were so frightened that they took out their phones to call the police, but I stopped them. Calling the police now would just drive them away, but they would definitely come back. To solve the problem of this family once and for all, I pretended to be scared and deliberately tricked them. Uncle and aunt, what are you doing? Get up quickly. This doesn't look good. Let's talk things out. As long as you don't make a scene at my company, I'll try my best to meet any of your requests. Su Wen's parents exchanged a look, thinking they had me in their grasp. They immediately became cocky. Now you're scared? What were you doing earlier? Actually, our family is not unreasonable. Since you have no fate with my son, you should give some compensation. Now you've caused him to lose his job. What do you plan to do? I looked at my wallet hesitantly, not agreeing to them immediately. After stalling for a while, I humbly said, I only have 100,000 yuan left. I don't have that much money to compensate you. Please have mercy on me. The Su Wen family originally didn't expect this much. When they heard I had 100,000 yuan, their eyes lit up immediately. We'll take the 100,000 yuan. Consider it as our youth compensation. If you don't give it, don't blame us for coming to make trouble every day. Then we'll not only make a scene here, but also go to your community and your parents' workplace. Anyway, our family has nothing left. The barefooted are not afraid of the ones wearing shoes. After saying that, Su Wen's mother made a fierce face to deliberately threaten me. I immediately showed weakness and obediently took out my wallet. All right. Auntie, please don't go to my parents. I'll give you the money. Consider it paying for peace. I put on a pained and reluctant look on my face, but in my heart, I was thinking that 100,000 yuan was not a small amount. It was enough for them to be imprisoned for 3 to 5 years. To preserve evidence, I even took the initiative to ask them to sign a compensation contract, ensuring that they would never come to harass me again after receiving the money. Su Wen's parents agreed to sign and fingerprint immediately to get the money. Su Wen hesitated for a moment in the middle. After being tricked by me several times, he had become smarter this time. Mom, should we think about it again? I always feel that Zhaoqing is not that easygoing. Be careful of fraud. But Su Wen's mother only had money on her mind and couldn't listen. Oh, the money is almost in our hands. What else are you thinking about? Now that you've lost your job, the family depends on your father's hard work. Don't tell me you still feel sorry for this little vixen. With that, she quickly signed the contract. I didn't hesitate and directly transferred 100,000 yuan to Su Wen's account. As soon as his family left happily, I called 110 and reported them. Then a dramatic scene occurred. Not long ago, they had accused me of extorting a 66,000 yuan bride price, but now they became the defendants. Even the police found it incredible. After being called to the police station, Su Wen looked defeated, clearly knowing he had been tricked. Only Su Wen's parents were still confused. Mr. Policeman, how can this be extortion? This little slut gave the money voluntarily. Look, it's written in black and white on the contract. But the contract clearly stated that after receiving the money, the Su Wen family would no longer harass me. This was clearly a blatant threat. So, the police ordered the Su Wen family to return the money to me immediately, and closed the case with the charge of extortion. As the main mastermind of receiving the money, Su Wen was sentenced to 5 years in prison, while Su Wen's parents as accomplices were sentenced to 3 years. After getting rid of this family, I discussed with my parents about moving to another city. Who knew if the 3 of them would cause trouble again after being released? Later, I wrote the story of outsmarting the strange man's family into a novel, and distributed it on various platforms. It became somewhat popular for a while. I hope to use my personal experience to warn everyone that when looking for a partner, one must keep one's eyes wide open. Every girl is the most wonderful in the world and deserves a lot of money and a lot of love. The end.